Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing Kina Bridge of Spirits, thanks to Ember Lab for providing a code for the game. So this is yet another Unreal Engine 4 game, and as such, it has the known options menu in the graphics. To get the most performance out of it, lower the shadows from ultra to high, that's like a 10 frames per second boost. Then after that, I would recommend lowering the volumetric fog. By lowering shadows and volumetric fog, you should have the biggest performance improvement. If that's not enough, lower the other options in groups. Also, there's a separate option called Visible Rot, which I recommend keeping on medium, especially halfway through the game, where that effect will show up on screen in a bigger amount. This is one of those games that looks good even on the lowest settings, which I was pretty impressed about. There's even screen space reflections if you go to the absolute lowest. So in this case I wouldn't mind lowering the settings so much, because the artistic style still holds up on the lowest settings. But at the same time there's one major issue: the frame times on this are terrible. On basically everything that I tested, there is inconsistent frame times, so the game doesn't feel 100% smooth. My temporal fix for this is that you open Ryzen statistics server, lock the game to 30 frames per second or 60, while making sure that your GPU can get to that frame rate, and that should leave your frame time completely smooth, as long as your GPU is not maxed out in those moments. And that's how I recommend playing the game. If you're aiming for 30, lock it to 30, if you're aiming for 60, lock it to 60. If it's completely unlocked, the frame time is super inconsistent. Hopefully the developers fix this in a future patch. Then there's also a DX11 and 12 option. My advice is keeping DX11 on the Nvidia cards from the 16 series and before, and on the AMD cards I recommend DX12. On the RX 570 I got way better GPU usage and more consistent frame rates on DX12. On the Nvidia cards from the 16 series and before, I got bigger drops on DX12 while using more video memory. So yeah, DX11 for those Nvidia cards. Then if you're aiming for 60, my advice again, put it on DX12 on the AMD cards. DX11 appears to be using more CPU, but while DX12 does better on the CPU side, it seems to be more demanding on the GPU. So yeah, hopefully that feedback helps for them to patch the game, and at the same time to warn you guys before you launch it. Just lock it to the frame rate that you want, 30 or 60, as long as you can reach it using Ryzen, and then tweak the fog, shadows, and if you need to lower it further, the game still looks pretty good. So yeah guys, that's about it. I hope you keep enjoying the video, thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Look after Benny.